Yeah, nobody wants to go there. Matt Rosen.
Yeah, try Google it.
What's up, brother?
Oh,
I can't think of it, so try Google.
it's like a big Matt party today. Matt Rosen, how's everything in the hard money lending space right now?
Things are well, man. We are closing up the year pretty good. Good to see you guys on this call, man.
Not like I was busy. Oh no, last week was the whole quarantining thing. I was just all funky and all like out of rhythm.
Oh, you're having to figure things out.
Yeah. I mean, again, if I really wanted to, I could have jumped on.
Hi, awesome. It's good. And there's Corey. Corey showed up. He did his hair today. Nice job.
What's up, everybody? Sorry, we're a little late.
It's Friday. It's okay. It's Aloha Friday. It's Friday before Christmas. Actually, next Friday is Christmas, right? So yeah, it's technically Friday before Christmas.
That's right.
It is. Time is going quick, man. Life is good. Keeping all nice and busy. It's good. It's good. Matt Longfellow is on, so he's ready to go. And
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Corey.
Rafael Ramos, where are you from?
I'm in North New Jersey, relocated from Hawaii about 3 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, from what island?
Oahu.
Nice, Oahu.
Yeah.
And then, so why would you go from Oahu to as far in the country as you can possibly get in New Jersey, unless you're running from HBD?
Followed fiance, found a job here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. New Jersey's nice. We have some clients from there. It's cold right now. Yeah, you guys get snow already.
Yeah, it snowed yesterday and the day before about a foot.
That's amazing. It seems crazy, but nice. You like it out there?
Yes, it's pretty nice.
Are you doing real estate investing? Are you a broker?
Right now, I'm just absorbing and learning and reading.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, welcome, man.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Oh, hold on a second. My wife is.
What I got with mommy?
No, Daddy, no.
You want blue food? You want milk? I have milk. Want milk? You want milk? You want milk? There's no light. You want milk?
Come on. Who's this? Oh, what's up?
Hello?
Sorry, gomennasai. That was my wife. She's craving a McRib sandwich from McDonald's. We never go McDonald's. Sounds crazy. Should be fun. Ashley, you got your Christmas shopping done? Not yet.
No, I'm like seriously stressing out. So like my family's on the East Coast too. And I delivered it here so I can ship it there. And like Corey is related to half the island too. So I'm like, oh my God. It's a lot. Did you?
No, in fact, we were just trying to figure out like what's the very last minute we can mail stuff out and still get by Christmas. And I think tomorrow is it. So
Thank you for that research.
I'm going, yeah, I know we've all done that. That's probably Google's #1 search today. What's the last day to ship to get to somewhere for Christmas? And yeah, so I'm gonna go shopping tonight. I'm thinking of buying one thing for everybody and everyone gets the exact same thing.
I like that. Send a pic so I can copy.
Yeah, actually I copied you. You know, every year you always give away pies. So up here in Washington, there's a Hawaii bakery. The gal is from Aiea. And so I ordered, I don't know, like a ton of guava cake. And so Yeah. So that'll be kind of fun. I'm gonna give away guava cake, and I'm hoping there's leftovers because it's amazing.
That's a good idea.
Of course, I'm gonna be the size of a guava cake by the time that's done, but that's all good. It's holidays.
And I like what you sent us. I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to do it in time, but that was actually a really lovely idea. Thank you.
It was your idea. I stole it from you. You do it every year.
No, you sent Corey the spoonful of something. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't have to cook one night. I was so happy.
It's so cool. Actually, we do that. We send that to a lot of our folks as well. It's great. The only problem is it's super expensive, but everybody who gets it really loves it because it's very country. Yeah. It's very down home kind of thing. So I went to send it to, I went to send it to Corey normally, but since, but I knew you would like it. Corey would be like, what is this? It's like soup and cookies and biscuits, right? Stuff my wife would love.
And I didn't have to cook, which was the best gift.
I know. It is it's good stuff. I love it. Good stuff. Did Alexander come on yet? He's not on yet. Layla's on. Jared Galdy's on. What's up, Jared? Oh, and Z, is that Z from New York? Hey, aloha Z. Z might be multitasking. It's all good. Anybody got anything fun that you're planning for the holiday season? In the middle of a pandemic, quarantine, can't see anybody, can't do anything. Any fun?
Hey, I got something. Well, let me get my camera going here. Okay, so
Greg, for the first time in your life, you ain't in your car.
I'm heading out right now. Okay, but here's what I got. It's not really like for me, but a buddy of mine, actually like one of the managers from the escrow company I work with a lot, has this story. He posted it on Facebook where his wife went to Safeway or Foodland and she loaded up the groceries, and in all the craziness with like loading kids and groceries and all this, she left her wallet in the shopping cart. The security guard at Foodland rode his bike from Foodland in Kahului to my friend's house in Waiahu, probably like, I don't know, probably half an hour bike ride, I'm guessing. I'm not really sure exactly how far, but far, not in the same town, right? To bring this girl her wallet after work at night, after he and this guy goes to school, rides his bike to college and all this stuff, right? Nice. So Gray, who's the manager of the escrow company and the girl's husband that lost her wallet, and I have made a GoFundMe page for this guy. He's kind of he's young father, married and stuff, and he's working this security job to put himself through school and riding his bike to school and work and taking his free time after work to go and do things like bring people's wallets back to them in another town. This story blows me away. I can't get over it. So we made a GoFundMe page to try and buy this guy a car for Christmas. So if it's okay, I'd like to share that in the chat if anybody's willing to contribute or just share it or anything. I think this guy really is stand up, really just an incredible example of selflessness and humility, and I think he should be rewarded.
Yeah, that is super cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, do it, Greg. Send it over.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to get Brandon to share it too. I was like, oh, if I can get Brandon to share it, guaranteed we'll raise $5,000 and get this guy a good used car, right? But Brandon's like, yeah, I'll share it, man. It's just all my followers are cheap ass investors. So I don't know if we're gonna raise any money.
I'll pitch in. I'll definitely pitch in.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. That's awesome. And that's so honorable of that man to do that.
Yeah. Guy's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what the holidays are all about, right?
Yeah, I kind of was in the place where I just feel super grateful for some of the opportunity that I've had in life. And, I kind of wanted to find a way, a lot of people did a lot of stuff, maybe not to this extent, but similar to this kind of thing for me. And I feel like, okay, I'm in the position now. Like one of my goals is to get to where I can do that kind of stuff for other people. And it was when I read this story, I was like, why can't I? I mean, all I got to do is kind of coordinate, get people together, start contributing.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
love it.
this guy seems awesome. He deserves it.
That's cool. Yeah, stick it on our Facebook page. See if we can raise some money, buy that guy a car. That'd be fantastic.
Awesome. Right on. Thanks, Keiko.
We're not going to buy him the car that you drive, but you know, definitely get him a car. Seriously, I don't think I've ever seen you outside your car. I'm a little shocked. You actually own a home. I figured you lived in your car, bro. You're always in your car.
I pretty much live in my car. Yeah, I spend more time in my car than in my home. Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
all over the island.
It happens. It happens. But
Yeah.
that's cool. Right on. Hey, Greg. So while we're on that, let's try.
Purchased from a particular. Sorry. Greg, are you guys gonna go through like a Craigslist ad or through a dealership to get him his car?
Honestly, like we just came up with this last night. I made the GoFundMe page. I put in $150. Gray put in $150, and now we just started sharing it. We haven't got anybody to donate yet. So
okay.
I mean, like it depends on how much we raise. Like if we raise enough to get him something from a like used dealership, that'd be awesome. But you know, if we only raise $2 or $3 grand, we get him what we can get for $2 or $3 grand.
Yeah, let me know. I work at a dealership. I can talk to the sales manager there.
Is that Tay? I can't see.
Yep.
It's Tay.
Oh, okay. Right on. Awesome. Thanks, Tay.
Yeah, let me know. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and if we don't, I don't know, like I said, I've never done a GoFundMe. I've never done anything like this before. So if we don't raise enough to buy him a car, like if we raise $500 or something, I hope it's more than that. But if that's what happens, then we just buy the kids a bunch of presents or, you know, like do something, just make his Christmas.
Way cool. You're awesome, man. That's what real estate investing is all about. I mean, we all make plenty of money. It's just more, how do we give back and how do we change other people's lives? So thanks for modeling that. It's super inspiring. Okay. If you wanted to really inspire us, you give them your Porsche. Just kidding.
We'll talk about that more later.
That's awesome. Well, hey, let's get rolling. It's our last Friday of the coffee talk for the year, which is crazy. We started this at the beginning of the pandemic in March, and we were going to do a temporary gathering of investors just to brainstorm and figure out together how to get through the pandemic. And now, what, like 8-9 months later, we're still going strong, and it's awesome. It's been a fun community. You guys are amazing. So thanks for being a part. It'll be fantastic to kind of see where next year goes. I think Corey and I talked about how we'll take next Friday is Christmas. The next week is New Year's Eve. And so we'll pick back up in January by popular demand. So thanks for being with us. It's been a lot of fun. One of the things that we wanted to start off with, we do have a really amazing guest that we're going to interview who's been doing a lot of real estate for a while. Corey and I have partnered with him on Oahu, and he just runs a real tight ship. But before we get there, wanted to just ask you guys to chime in on what strategies or what you're thinking about for 2021 as we go into the new year. There's obviously lots of reports out that the market's going to kick off really strong. It really hasn't slowed down. Interest rates are still record lows. Supply inventory is extremely low. Demand is super high. A lot of properties are going above list, short days on market. So a lot of exciting opportunities. And then some markets that are a little bit more hit by COVID are seeing price reductions right now, which is of course giving investors a lot more motivation and excitement. So we're seeing that in Vegas. We just kind of launched a team in Vegas and we're starting to see some adjustments there. So cool opportunities. But what are you doing for 2021, kind of preparing for it? I'm going to pick on Kalama and Tristan to start off with, if that's all right. Just kind of what you're thinking, and just, you know, if you've got something, especially just so we can learn off of each other, what you're planning for. So Kalama, go for it, man. Oh, he looks at his wife going, oh.
There you go.
Go for it.
Yeah, no, so we're super excited. 2021. We're just buying as much as we can, but our goal is to really focus on acquiring through creative means. So using creative finance, basically, I feel like that vehicle is really going to be a game changer next year. Yeah, so kind of kicking it off, ending this year strong with some creative finance deals, and then moving into 2021 doing that.
That's awesome. Are you so creative financing deals? Are you guys trying to do wraps?
Yep. So we have 2 in escrow, 2 seller finance deals right now in Oahu that we're gonna wrap. But yeah, with the wraps, lease options.
That's fantastic. You know what? We need to do a segment on that. Maybe we'll start off the year with that creative financing and talk about wraps, because that was a great topic that came up last week. So with Keith, but that'd be cool. Okay, so you guys are really gearing up for 2021, really trying to do more creative financing, which will definitely extend your cash ability to acquire more properties. How many properties are you aiming for 2021?
Jeez.
I don't think we necessarily have a number. At least one a month is what my
one a
goal
month.
is.
I mean, this was really our first year that we really dove in.
Yeah.
And I think we had 6 transactions this year. So, I mean, doubling that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you guys kill it when it comes to design. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. So yeah.
Yeah.
You open up a design company, you'd crush it. It's just, you do amazing creative work for low budget, which is
just
awesome.
to butt in. I would say set the goal, man. 1 a month times 12 months sounds like the goal is 12 to me.
Yeah.
I'd set the goal, because if you put it in writing, then it'll be easier for you guys to attain it.
Definitely.
For sure.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna hold Kalama and Tristan to 12 deals in 2021.
Let's go.
Got it.
Let's do it.
Somebody should try 21 deals in 2021. It just sounds sexy.
Yeah.
Hey, Will, since you butted in, what are you guys doing to prepare down there in California for 2021? What are you guys thinking?
Man, I mean, I'll let Alex kind of jump in. We're getting ready to do our goals planning this week. This coming week, we have it set on our calendar. So we're kind of, getting set and getting aligned. But our biggest goal is, from what we've talked about earlier, is to get our VA to produce a couple more leads a week for us on non-MLS properties. Would you agree, Alex?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of our big goals. But yeah, let me jump in. So our goal is to do 24 deals next year. So we did about, we did like 13 or 14 this year. So goal is to double that, and mostly in LA. Will wants to do his first house hack. So I think he's gonna be looking to buy a triplex or fourplex. And then one of our newest team members, Jay, wants to do her first flip. And then I'm looking to buy a 10-unit building in Palmdale, Lancaster in Southern California. So that's our overall goals.
That's awesome, man. That's fantastic. You know what I love about that, Alex, is that you're also thinking really carefully about your team and trying to see what their goals are, and then having your goals overarch their goals, so that way there's a win. I think one of the things with real estate on all of our teams is that there's a huge turnover in real estate teams, just because as people get trained, they all go out on their own and do their own thing. But that's a great leadership lesson right there. So way to go, bro.
Yeah, it's really important that your goals are aligned with your team, because if not, like you said, like example with Will's an A player, and we've had this discussion, like, you're going to be with me for 1 year, and during that year we're going to get you into that house hack. After that year, we're going to reevaluate and see, like, hey, you still want to work with the company, or you want to go do your own thing? And because C players and B players, you're not going to have those type of conversations. But with A players, like we hire people, we work with people, and they're rock stars. So eventually they want to do their own thing. So I think you have to set those expectations at the beginning and see, like, hey, do our goals align? And our goals do align. And then I think it's a lot easier to form a team that way. But yeah, I'm consciously thinking about that, because it's important to me that people are growing alongside me. And if you don't think that way, then you're just kind of like, okay, the person on top. You guys probably seen that meme, right, where it says like the boss, he's just kind of cracking the whip, and then like leaders leading from the front. So, you know, I'm not really concerned about whether I hit my personal goal as much as I helping them hit their goals, because at the end of the day, it's all about, like we said earlier, like just growing together. And when you're thinking about your team like that, I think that it resonates with them. They're like, hey, you know what? Like, it's not all about, you know, making more money. It's about all of us winning together. So yeah, for sure.
I love it. Alex, I'm going to ask you one more question. I'm going to pick on Jared Galdi here real quick. So Alex, so you're going to do 24 deals in 2021. That's 2 deals on average a month. And so what is the one top thing you're doing now to prepare yourself for that kind of momentum? Because 24 deals a year doesn't happen from just sitting on your butt, right? It's got to be strategic, got to be intentional, got to have funding in place. So, you know, outside of using our funding company, Keiko Capital, what else are you doing?
Oh, that's a great question. So I'm gonna be working on a lot more of the raising the capital at the beginning of this next coming year. I mean, I have enough to do a certain amount of deals, but to do 24, I'm definitely gonna have to raise some capital. But more than anything is just making sure that everybody's doing what they should be doing in the organization, and everybody's working on their strengths. So my strengths would be in building the relationships, in setting the vision, in constantly, you know, just looking at what's going on, what we can improve. And then Will is working on, you know, the boots on the ground stuff, making sure that, you know, we're making those offers every single day. And then Jay is working on social media and working some other things. And then the VA is working on all the stuff that we don't want to work on. So I think more than anything, making sure that we have a structure that enables us to scale to that number without it falling apart and us not, you know, losing momentum, or, you know, so just more than anything, making sure that everybody is in the right seat, doing the right things every day.
That's awesome. All right, so now we know that Kamo High is doing 12 and you're doing 24 next year, so that's exciting. Jared Galdi, what's you're working with some pretty creative stuff, but what's your plans? What's your strategy for 2021?
Yeah, so we're in kind of final stages of a big capital raise. So we've been kind of really piecing it together this year. We bought 15 houses, recovery houses this year. Our goal is 60 next year. We've been working really, really, really hard on the system.
60, like 6D, 60, not 16.
60, yeah.
60. Oh, brah, five a month.
Yep, it's on.
I love it.
We have 7 locked up for January, so we're off to a good start.
That's even better. The fact that you've already been starting, so that way your closings happen in January, like you're starting off with serious momentum, is awesome. So, sorry, just wanted to double check that. So 5 a month, 60 deals, 2021.
60 deals. Yep, that's the goal. We've been piecing together all the capital. I feel like that's been one of our biggest you know, time sucks this year, and I feel like that has kind of worked itself out now with a large capital partner who's kind of in it with us. Also building out a property management company, that's one of the biggest portions. We just made a couple of strategic hires to really do property management for the addiction recovery houses that we do. And so really, like right now, a lot of my time is kind of really creating his space to operate in and thrive. Like Alex was saying, he's an A player. So really just kind of giving him, he's kind of our superintendent of construction and our property manager for these things. So really creating that space for him to for me to really focus on those acquisitions and get it going next year.
That's awesome, man. Great. Building up the team, raising capital. We'll have to definitely do another, Corey. We got to do one episode where we're talking really about creative capital raising too, you know, with some of the funds and stuff. So we'll think about that.
I don't think we went over that, raising capital, right? So
it's definitely interesting. I could bring Travis in on that. Like it's my partner. I mean, it's been an interesting road. Like you have to shape it so many different ways for every conversation you're having. Like it's every big investor's got a different question that you've got to address in a 100-page document. You got to change a few things, you know, and even leading up to it, when we thought we were going to raise capital from a bunch of people, right? And then now that it's like a couple of very wealthy individuals, we thought it was like this cash flow fund, and they're over here like, well, we don't want the cash flow. We want to roll that back into more properties. Like, you know, we don't want the tax implications of that. So it's like, it's never going to look like you think it's going to look once you start having the conversation. But yeah, that's obviously a huge subject for all of us, really, really raising capital when you find something scalable.
Yeah, it's huge, especially if you want to scale. That's the thing is, I mean, you could do one flip every 6 months and you can find the funds for that in your bank account. But once you get up to 60 deals, I mean, once you get up to like a deal a month, like Kamo High guys, it's going to get tough. But Jared, if you guys need help with your property management company, let us know. Ours grew by 200% this year. So we're doing a lot of virtual assistance out of Mexico, and it's phenomenal. So if you need any contacts on that side, or systems or all of that, we're starting to hire regional representatives now, which sounds like what you guys are going to do. So hit me up. Happy to give you all that. We don't know much, but whatever we know, we'll give you.
Thank you.
Jessica Brown, what's happening in your beautiful bedroom over there? Got such beautiful decor. What
thank you.
What you
I do
doing
what I can.
for 2021? What's on your docket?
I'm actually filling out my goal sheet today. But yeah, so I am now working with Ashley. Thankful for that. Just trying to get more sales as an agent and bring buyers to the table. Trying to restart marketing again. I kind of put that on hold in the process of getting my license, taking up my exam and everything. So I'm getting clear on my goals today as well. Working on it.
That's awesome. Right on. That's
Thank you.
fantastic. Sweet. Anybody else want to chime in? I feel like I'm picking on people, but anybody else kind of got a good sense of what your goal is for 2021, and you kind of want to.
Let's hear from Zasha.
Zasha. She doesn't like you now.
Aloha. I was trying to stay under the radar, man. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, not when Alex is in the house.
I know. My goal for 2021 is really to invest out of state and move into commercial real estate.
Nice.
So like smaller commercial, like, 6, 7, 8, 10 unit, something like that.
That's awesome. So what state are you looking at for out of state?
I was looking at Ohio, but now I just got an email somewhere. Oh yeah, still Ohio and Cincinnati. I've been hearing some good things. So that's why I wanted, Ashley, did you end up buying something out of state? Is she still on?
She's on another call, so she can't multitask.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Zasha, I don't know if you know my friend Leslie, the ER doctor.
I think so. She bought something.
She's come to like the meetups before a couple times. Yeah. I think she has a few duplexes, or like she is like, so we have another friend, but she doesn't live on Maui, but she could put you in touch with our other friend. I can't remember her name right now, but they do a bunch of like duplexes around that area. So they probably could help a lot with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll text you.
Kirsten. Yeah. So Kirsten's been doing it for years and has I don't know how many, but I figure they probably have 20 or something out there.
Yeah, I just completed a refinance, a burr over here, and it was a full one. So I just have some money. I'm kind of wanting it to go further. Here it just takes a while. Then I had that Kihei project that I'm doing a new build, so it's just gonna be a longer process. So just trying to find something that I can get to cash flow sooner, and then also my, how everybody runs into that debt to income ratio when you're doing conventional loans. Kind of hitting that cap right now. So
what did the Highly Miley appraise for?
625.
Nice.
I got it at 330, and then we put about 120, 130 in reno.
Perfect.
That's because you guys did the work. Yeah, because that probably would have been like a 200.
What probably would have been, well, we hired out a lot of it, but was a lot of local people, and my husband, he's
you got hooked up,
so we gave him good prices, but yeah, it would have been a lot higher.
Yeah.
And we had to do a lot of, I ran to get the materials and all that too.
Yeah, that takes a lot of time.
Alex knows. I put him to it.
Alex is good at counseling and coaching and cheering everybody on.
He wanted to come visit a project, and he ended up unloading some cabinets while he was there. So
yeah, Sasha is the real deal. She'll put anybody to work.
Well,
Sorry, Zasha. I was putting out a fire. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Oh no. So did you end up buying out of state?
So I'm waiting because it's multifamily. I want to see what happens over there, but I've created my list. So I'm just slowly starting my contact with them. And I'll probably wait until probably third quarter next year and see what goes on. And before I make any type of solid negotiations.
Right, because I'm hearing right now is a lot of people, because of that, you know, kind of not fear factor, but they're worried. So a lot of people are trying to dump. So I'm hearing that there are some good deals out there right now if you're willing to take the risk.
Yeah, I should take the risk.
Now, that's the thing is the risk factor is important to consider. You know, what happens when Biden goes into office, if there's any major changes or any major lockdowns, you know, which may impact the markets. And then, of course, just taking a look at the appreciation in the markets you're taking a look at, just because some markets, the appreciation is like 0 to negative. All of your cash flow is good. So just kind of watch that, especially if the economy is uncertain. But Midwest is great. There's some good opportunities there. So cool, exciting. So we'll keep you accountable for that. Anybody else want to just chime in? Anybody got some goals you want to air and make accountability happen? Because we're going to all cheer you on.
I'll speak up. Hi guys, my name is Warren. I'm a relatively new investor. I've got 2 properties under my belt. I live in Oahu, born and raised here. I live in Waipahu. My goals for next year is hopefully I can cash out refi or take out a HELOC on my primary, and I'm hoping to get 4 properties, 4 more units. And I just want to speak it up, put some accountability on myself, hoping to make things happen.
That's awesome. You're going to do 4 single families or multifamily, or what you're looking at?
I'm leaning more towards multifamily, out of state, but if it's going to be single family, it'll probably be a single family here on island.
Nice, nice. And those are buy and holds or flips?
Preferably buy and holds, but we'll see how the numbers work out.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, let us know if you need any help with anything or if you need any guidance. Happy to do it.
Will do. Thank you.
Cool. I'll share mine. I'm gonna one of the things I want to do in 2021 individually, and then I'll talk about Corey and I. But individually, I want to do a short-term rental in Nevada and one in Seattle. I have a fire station. Corey and I actually have a fire station up here in Seattle that we may turn into an Airbnb, which would be kind of fun. Put a fire truck in there and, you know, let people climb on it. So I'm going to check that out. Just kind of a new space. And then really want to try to do a syndication next year. So kind of looking at some of the syndication opportunity and such. So that should be pretty fun. So yeah. Corey, what about you? And then we'll transition into introducing our guest. What you got going on strategy-wise for 2021?
Well, I wanted to talk about that actually, because now's about the time we get ready for 2021, right? So I wanted to share a little kind of slide from the NPLA call yesterday. Let me see if I can share my screen. There we go.
Matt Rosen's on too, Corey, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. What's up, Matt?
What's up, Corey?
Matt Rosen is the NPLA guru. NPLA, by the way, in case somebody you're kind of newer on, it's the National Private Lenders Association. We sit on the board of directors for that, so it's pretty cool. Corey was on a meeting yesterday, so he'll share some insights, secrets, tools.
Okay, guys. So basically, we had I think it was like one of the director. I can't remember. Maybe Matt, you can chime in if you remember. His name was Darren, but he's with auction.com and he runs the data and analytics. So auction.com is great because we can see all the statistics that they have. And this slide is showing, can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Is that on there? Okay. Like where the foreclosure inventory is starting to be released into the market, like what states. So the green states are where the foreclosure volumes are starting to return. Some of the moratoriums have been extended, right? So Hawaii is still, you know, dark blue along with New York, Alaska. So these are kind of just, this is kind of just a bird's eye view of what the different markets are doing across the nation when it comes to the foreclosure inventory. Because I think we spoke about this many times on the call, is like that's going to be a big test, is what happens when all of the foreclosure inventory that's been sitting gets released back into the market, and all the forbearances that come due. You know, what are they going to be able to catch up? I think many won't be able to. So I took some notes as well. I don't know if you guys can see this, but so about 1.2 million total of shadow inventory, they're calling it. So of foreclosures and forbearances. But there's one little stat in here that I kind of took down. Oh, here it is. So there's a large amount of people who have exited the forbearance program, but they're still distressed and not making payments, but they're also not re-entering into the forbearance program. They're not taking advantage of it. So a question that was asked in the NPLA was, what does that mean? What do they think, what did Darren think that means? And I think it's kind of obvious. The assumptions are that these people are just ready to walk away from their property. Okay, so I don't know if there's ways to pull lists for people who have been in forbearance, but then are no longer, but still behind on their mortgages. Because I think that would be a really, I guess, highly motivated list of sellers. So if anyone on the call can figure that one out, then maybe you can strike some gold here. But I just wanted to show that and share that with you guys, because that's something that we have to be aware about, right? Because we're in low inventory, low interest rates, which is keeping the housing market pretty strong in most states. But what happens when the inventory comes back, and what happens when interest rates start to go up, maybe in a couple of years or so. So keep that in mind as we head into the new year. Awesome. And with that, I want to, since we're running a little bit behind, I want to just jump right in and introduce our good friend, Matt Longfellow. Matt has been a great friend of ours, partner. We've done a few flips together out here in Hawaii. And Matt is he's a serial entrepreneur and someone who I admire in that sense. And I told him before, I think it was on one of our other projects that we're working on together, I think one in Kaneohe. And I told him, I was like, man, if I wasn't in this, if I wasn't, trying to make it in this world as an entrepreneur, I'd probably be working for Matt or someone like Matt. So he's a super smart guy, and we're grateful that he's a part of our, real estate investing ohana. And so I just want to give a quick intro to Matt. Matt, welcome, and thanks for jumping on with us. How's everything going with you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Corey. Thanks. Gosh, that's quite an intro. Thank you. That's,
well, it's true. It's true. I really admire you. All the businesses that you started, growing up, you're born to be an entrepreneur, and I admire that. And I think the first thing before we get started is what really made you move? Because you had your business, you sold your business, and then you moved into real estate. Decided to go into investing in real estate. So what, out of all of the different maybe business ideas or ventures that you could have gone into, why real estate?
Yeah. Well, I had a few investments while I was running the marketing company that I had, and I started looking at. I was making more money off of that than I was going into the office every day. I'd always been interested in real estate. I enjoy construction. I enjoy carpentry, and said, this is up my alley. It's what I like to do. They always everyone gives you the advice to do what you love to do. And I started looking at what do I spend my time on the weekends. Saturday and Sunday, I'm out in the garage building something and I'm repairing something. I said, well, I like working with my hands. I grew up on a farm, so I guess you could say getting back to my roots a little bit. But I'm done going into an office. I'm done having employees. I've done all that. it's just different headaches. So with the experience there and kind of what I like to do, it was a natural thing to get into.
Nice. Yeah. I could see that. I could definitely see that because Matt, when we were partnering, I relied heavily on your opinion on like different structural things and because otherwise I'm relying on the GC, right? And like sometimes like there's a conflict there. The conflict of
right.
interest.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And I'd give that advice to everybody. Yeah, you don't have to be a builder. You don't have to know everything. But I had said to Corey, it might make sense to shadow, one of the guys, shadow your tile guy for a day, even. I mean, the amount of stuff you'd pick up and learn would be incredible. And you'll know for the next job, someone's trying to cut corners and not doing something right, you can talk about it. And then on the next project, spend a few days with the framers, or whoever it is. It's good. You pick up a lot quickly by watching.
Yeah, and it's definitely time work. Like it's time well spent because that can equate to dollars, right?
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, you just have to walk in with your guys, and if you tear open the walls and something else gets fixed, and like, oh, that beam has to get replaced, and that's gonna be like 20 grand. Like, what do you say to that? Like, but if you have the knowledge, right, like you can call people out when you feel like that's not necessary. So
well, and if you don't trust your GC or your guys, I mean, you've probably got the wrong guys. But trust but verify. Trust
right? Yeah, trust but that's it.
It's good to fall back on that. So
yeah. Well, Matt, I know you kind of just exited a deal, and I wanted to kind of hear a little bit more about that. We had Jonah on here too. I don't know if it's that deal that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, that's the most recent one I just finished. I figured I'd cover that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because we had Jonah Kogan on. He was talking about that same project that you guys are in.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if I don't know who has controls, if we can send it over to Matt or so he can share his screen. Did you have anything, Matt? Or
I've got some pictures and some details. Just a quick little, PowerPoint.
Sweet. Okay.
Hang on, Matt. We're gonna send you controls here in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt has a great story too, because he grew up on a farm, but like Stanford grad, right? And a lot of businesses, your painting business. Like I learned a lot just from here, like listening to your stories. So
okay, it looks like I got controls. Let me share my screen. You guys seeing this?
Not yet.
Not yet. It says
We're trying to create suspense and drama. I like it.
Well, I got one more thing to say for Matt, actually. So if anybody on the call has deals, Matt is he's a true cash buyer, so he buys all cash. It doesn't mean to send him all the ones that doesn't fit to the investors who leverage hard money, because he still has holding costs. But yeah, if you have deals or looking to invest with him too, it's definitely one of our guys that we trust and love working with. So
you seeing my screen now?
We do.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, if we're ready. Oh.
Perfect.
So you guys already heard a little bit about this development, so I'll skip through that pretty fast. But so Jonah got this lot. He probably talked about it. There were 4 existing homes, and he was CPRing it to build 5 new ones. The 3 down here at the bottom, he resold.
Hey, Matt, tell real quickly, what is a CPR for people who don't know what that is?
Oh, it's splitting up the lot when you can't subdivide, but you have enough space. It's condominium property regime, so you're kind of making a condo out of the.
When somebody does a CPR, is that the same as a subdividing, and how long does it take for permitting if you need permits?
Well, I'm not an expert on the CPR because all I did was buy the lot and I didn't get permits to do the work that I did. So I wasn't involved in any of that part of it, and I haven't done a CPR from scratch. So
Gotcha.
I can't necessarily speak intelligently about that.
Gotcha. No, didn't want to interrupt you, but there's just some folks maybe kind of new to the whole investing. So just for everyone's FYI, it does require permits, a little bit easier than a full subdivision. But yeah, that's great. All right, keep going, Matt.
Okay. So he resold these at the bottom with some minimal work needed, no major remodeling, just cleaned up. But the unit up here at the top, if you can see my my cursor up there, that's the one he sold to me. It had some damage, needed a little more work, and he was focused on building the other home. So here's the layout of the house. It's small. You can see 746 square feet, 2 bedroom, 1 bath. My initial plan was to change the interior walls a little bit. I was going to fill this in, extend this bathroom out because it was really tiny. Sorry, my drawing's not very good. Put the doorway over here and then absorb this walkway into this bedroom. So demo this closet, put a doorway in here. That was really all I was planning on doing. I was planning on repairing. There was some termite damage, of course, but a lot of it looked like it was on the trim. So I thought, minimal work, just clean it up, get rid of it. It's a single wall home built in 1955. I'm not rebuilding a new house. We're just going to make it look better. There's just some elevation shots there. So here was what I went into it with. Purchase price was $380,000. My renovation budget was $100,000. I had planned on doing a majority of the work myself, but even when I do that, I keep track of my hours and I bill myself because I figured I'd be paying somebody else to do the work that I'm doing. It's not fair, from an analysis standpoint, it's not fair if you just provide a bunch of free labor and pretend like that was extra profit. So I bill kind of high for my hourly, so it wouldn't have been too much more if I had had to hire it out. My time frame, initial plan was 6 months, purchased May 20th. ARV of 600 to 625, depending. I was planning on profit of 80 to 100. That was kind of the plan. And as Corey said, I buy all cash. I have a couple family members that have put money into both flips, and I've been flipping for about 5 years, but I got sidetracked into vacation rentals and have 10 of those. So I have people investing in those, but it's all family, and it's my money, it's family money, that kind of thing, all in a pool. Let me jump over to some pictures rather than put them all into the slideshow is easier. So this is the front of the house. Back of the house, it's a big lot. It's 12,000 square foot lot. Some of that is not usable because it's hillside, but it did have a very big backyard, which I'm not sure I had a good shot of that, but see a lot of termite damage here. Interior, it had this real thin paneling, and so the outside you could see a little bit of termite damage on the walls, but not much. This paneling was hiding some surprises. And as I started to pull it off, there was more and more. You can maybe see a little bit of daylight coming through those walls down there. Kitchen, it's 1955 kitchen. It had a carport out inside with a little shed, which we cleaned up. There's once I started to pull everything off, and short of zooming in on that, let me just tell you that what seemed okay when you knocked on the boards on the outside, when you got to the inside, you realized, oh yeah, like 3/4 of that board is shot. So replacing a few turned into a little bit more than that. Bathroom, I knew there was water damage and things there. There's the floor of the bathroom after I ripped it up. We had floor joists replaced. You can see it's because it's single wall. It's the rough sawn timber there, so true 2x4s. I ended up going to Reuse Hawaii, which is great if you guys have repairs to make on single wall homes. pretty reasonable price, and you can get the exact dimensions to match and everything. So check that out. But it ended up being a little bit, I mean, I did that for the bathroom floor, but for the walls, it was too much. So I just started, I braced the roof, tear down a section of wall and reframe it, and kind of moved around the house doing that, kind of all the way around the house. I had to replace about 6 of the posts underneath, so I was jacking up the house, putting in some new blocks under there and new posts, several beams. So it was a lot of work under the house too. But the good thing about reframing it is now it's a double wall home. Now all your electrical can be buried, looks a lot nicer. So I knew it would be extra cost, but I figured that's going to raise my ARV. So I'd make it back. And there was damage in the roof too. Some of the trusses, some of the beams.
What is that?
Well, what you're looking at right along here, this used to be a porch that was enclosed. Not by me, it was done before that. So you have a change in the pitch of the roof, and there was a beam that ran right along, well, sort of a beam. I think the guy that lived here, based on stuff I saw around, he liked to do his own stuff. There were a lot of things that, he had a saw. He was a welder, it seems. There was a lot of welding material. So he was a do-it-yourselfer. So I had to fix a lot of that, repair a lot of that. New beam in here, instead of tearing this out, just pressure blocked it. New post, had to put a new beam all the way down that wall. I ended up replacing all of the interior walls and about 80% of the exterior walls.
Wow.
Basically a brand new build.
I'm sorry, what's that?
It's basically like a brand new build.
It really was. As it turns out, it wasn't the intention. But so that back here is the kitchen wall, which in the next picture you can see is gone. If nice. I still don't know that I would have done a tear down, just because I did all this without permits, by the way. If there's a building inspector on the call, you didn't hear that. But I put all new electrical in the house that I did hire out, and all new plumbing. And like I said, most of the walls were new. Just because of the timing of permits and the hassle and all that, I still probably would have done it the way I did it. But yeah, it was very close to a teardown.
What was now? What was what did they put on the single wall? Was it Koenig board?
Oh, the ceiling. The ceiling was Koenig. Oh, the walls. Yeah, it was. I'm not sure that it was Koenig. It was like 1/4 inch, just paneling. It was a soft kind of paneling, kind of the same consistency as Koenig. I've never seen exactly that before. It wasn't plywood. It wasn't drywall. It was just kind of a fibrous paneling. Yeah.
Wow.
So the carport got torn up and re-sided. Now for the bedroom walls, if you guys haven't done this, probably have. The 2 of the bedroom walls were okay, and instead of tearing those out, I just flat studded them, basically turning the studs on their side. This was such a small house, I didn't want to take up, a few inches was even more than I wanted to take up. So turn the studs on their side. You can use shallow electrical boxes and still bury everything that you need to bury in there. Adds a lot of stability, but you drywall over top of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great tip. Actually, that tip could have saved us probably like 50 grand if I had that tip, because we had that flip in Kailua, and it was single wall, and we were just gonna go over just like this.
Yeah.
Or just go over the single wall with drywall, and we came back and the whole thing was ripped out, and I guess there's miscommunication, so we ended up having to double wall everything.
Yeah.
And it was expensive. So lesson learned, and I wish I got that tip last year.
You're not getting the strength, so you have your posts have to be strong. You have to have the stability. This is not going to give you that. It's going to add some shear, and obviously some rigidity. I mean, the posts were fine. Everything was held up. Everything was supported. There was a little bit of a wave to the wall if you pushed on the wall, and this eliminated all of that. And it allowed the windows to go in more easily. You know, now you've got actual framing around there. So it's not for every application. It's not going to give you as strong of a house, but the house was staying. And we were siding everything on the outside anyway. Ended up putting a deck along the back. That's the other thing I plan on doing. Because I've got a small house, you got to do something to give some living space, even if it's outside living space. So put a deck in there, 10-foot deck, and added about 350 square feet to a 700 deck, but to a 750 square foot house.
That's awesome. Hey, Matt, just for the benefit of those who are kind of brand new to the flipping space, when is a good time to not choose to do permits, and when is a good time to choose, and why did you choose not to?
Depends on who you ask. Permits take time and cost a lot. You know, anytime you do any electrical and plumbing, you're supposed to have permits. Anytime, if you're doing this level of work, I know we all try to get away from it and get around it, I should say. I think everyone's going to have a different answer to that question, where the line is drawn. Now, the thing I was most worried about is, you can see from this picture, those are those houses down below, and well, right there, you can sort of see, I mean, Jonah had 3 houses under construction while I was doing this. Inspectors are coming by. So I tell them, hey, if you know you're getting an inspector, can you tell me? I'm going to try to put up like a big, dust screen to hide what I'm doing over here. And tried to rush to get, just trying to time the work I was doing, get the siding up. Yeah, we're just painting, that kind of thing. But I probably dodged a few bullets.
I can't believe you got, you didn't get, the inspector didn't just turn his head and look, but I figured, what are they, if they come up, they're going to stop me, and I'm gonna have to go get permits for what I'm doing. Right. Exactly.
Okay. And if they don't stop me, I'm doing the same work anyway. So all it is a temporary delay, which if I got permits from the beginning, I would have that delay anyway. Right. So, I mean, other than any sort of little fine they're going to give me,
right.
Everything I was doing was passing. I wasn't going to have a problem with what I was doing. I was doing the required work. Everything was taken care of.
You do it the right way, and that's the thing too. It's for people who don't know, because there's people from different that are investing in different markets in Hawaii, but Hawaii's the city just takes forever. You can wait a year for permits for a basic remodel permit, and sometimes it gets lost in there. You never know if you're going to get it back. Like, we call it the black hole. DPP, Department of Planning and Permitting, because plans go in and they don't go out, they don't come out.
So, and they're busy. They're busy now.
Yeah, and they're very busy.
And a lot of the people at DPP were shifted over to go chase after short-term, rentals. Right. So they were spread a little thinner. They were trying to hire, but it's not a quick process.
Actually, I would like to have you back on, Matt, to talk about your portfolio of short-term rentals, especially in these times. Maybe another time in the near future, sometime early next year. But before you,
this wasn't a good year for short-term rentals. We were,
I know,
from March until October.
Yeah, I'm very curious about your opinion on the market too, which we've had talks about it, so we can go over that after you're done with this one. But one question I had for you was, I guess, or maybe for everybody who's not investing in Hawaii, because single wall is not common in the mainland, right? No. We have jealousy windows, the louver windows, if anybody doesn't really know Hawaii market. And when we first went into the Seattle market, it was a big learning curve, with over here, we don't really have to insulate our houses. We should, if you're going to go, rip open the walls and stuff, but you don't have to. But in the mainland or somewhere like Seattle, if you don't upgrade, if you have jealousy windows, you'll die, you know, like in the winter. So, so single wall is common out here in older houses, and sometimes when we renovate, we don't even convert it to double wall if that's not what the market is, you know, accepting. You know, if you may not have to double wall. So what made you decide on this house to double wall some areas and to, what did you call it when you flattened the studs?
Oh, I call it flat studding. I mean,
flat studding.
I think there's some other terms I don't, but that's what I call it. Well, the decision was out of necessity. I mean, when the house is, you know, the whole wall needs to be replaced. It just doesn't make sense to go and replace it with, you know, go down to Reuse Hawaii and buy all the. For those of you who don't know, single walls, it's just three-quarter inch tongue and groove, and that is the only thing. There's no gap, so all of your electrical has to run on the surface. Your windows just have some framing, but you kind of route out and put it down on there. It's held. I mean, on the outside you'll have a band, belly band to hold it for a shear, so it doesn't just, you know, fall over. But that's really it. So it was out of necessity. And I don't like single wall anyway. I don't like to sell a single wall home. So, you know, to give the added strength, it really wasn't more work than replacing all the boards.
Right.
I mean, you'd still have to support the roof while you tore it out, and then what? You're going to go and put all the tongue and groove in there, and put a belly band on the outside. Why not just frame it? You can frame a wall in, you know, a couple hours by yourself. So it wasn't extra work, and probably not that much more cost. So anyway, there's just another shot of the deck. Couple pictures of the outside. I have a before and after shot that I'm going to go to. Bathroom, there's the tile in progress. Crazy floor. My wife picks out all the finishes, and it's one of the things that we try to not do. This is actually from Home Depot. I think I was about to say we try not to do the standard Home Depot kind of stuff. You walk in and everyone kind of uses the same stuff. You walk in and, oh yeah, I saw that light. Oh, I put that light in over there. And so I order a lot online, so we get things that are a little bit different. Not tile, but lighting and bath fixtures, and you know. I ended up putting this. I was really happy with this. Again, just to do something a little different. This is from Home Depot. You can buy the acacia butcher blocks, and I think that piece, I mean, I cut it down, but that piece was like $400. Instead of putting, you know, the quartz over there too, just thought I'd do something different. It's got this live edge, you know, and
nice.
Just trying to get a few different things because it's a 750 square foot small house, right? I mean, yeah, I put new stuff in there, but try a few things to stand out. I had some extras, so I got rid of one of my cabinets, did these shelves in the kitchen, that type of thing. I always put the casing around the windows, and I wrap the windows. Again, it doesn't take that long, and you might as well do something just to dress it up.
Yeah.
I like doing things like that.
A lot look and a high-end touch. That's very nice.
And you know what? I didn't hang the drywall, but I did all the taping and mudding, and I hate doing corners. So I didn't have to do the corners, right?
Oh yeah.
It took me less time. It took me about 10 minutes to do each window, and it's wrapped not just on the front, but on the inside as well. Big deal. Stand there with your chop saw, just, you know, put it up.
That's another great tip. Man, that seems so like it's a small tip, you know, but like that's another great tip.
Yeah. Crown molding as well. The corner along the ceiling, if you're going to be taping and mudding yourself, which like I'm never going to do it again. But because my neck hurts too much looking up. But crown molding covers that. I mean, it can save me a lot of time. It would take me 1/10 the time and cost to put up crown molding. than it would be to tape and mud those corners. So anyway,
That's a great point. Yeah, I love that.
You're doing it yourself. I do have some before and after, full on before and after stuff that you might want to see.
Yeah.
I put this on Facebook, so it's got the little transitions there. Try to get accurate. I just ended up putting gravel in the front. I was going to pour a driveway, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So there's the
there's the deck.
Finished deck and some different.
How much did the deck run you?
The deck, well, I did a lot of that.
You did a lot of it yourself,
yeah. I did get somebody to help me with that, just because, back gets sore. Yeah, like $4,500.
That's it?
Yeah. For a 10 by 20 deck plus the return, well, 10 by 25. Bathroom. That's almost it.
Nice.
Just there was enough room in this living space. That's the wall I brought out to give a little more space there. I had seen that picture already, but that's pretty. All right, there's like one more photo. I try to jump through it faster.
Did you have to landscape much, or did you just like no need?
It's Kahaluu. Here's like I don't know what that panoramic shot. So a couple things, like I said, the windows, doing something a little extra there. Putting this down didn't really cost me any more than what I would have put in quartz, unless I had, if you have the extra in a slab and you're throwing it away, okay. But short of that, putting French doors instead of a slider, yeah, they're a little bit of a pain to install to get it just perfect, but couple touches like that can really help, when you're trying to put a silk hat on a pig. All right, so some of the numbers actually went into escrow before I was even done. Jonah brought a buyer to the table. He was the agent that was representing two of the buyers for two of his houses that he was building. The guy liked the property, wanted to live there, came by. So we were in escrow. I think he first walked through the house when the drywall was just, I was taping when he came in. But closed October 19th. Accepted an offer of $660. So that was nice.
You were expecting 620, right?
Yeah, it was between 600 was I know I can sell it for that. 625 I thought was a good fair number. Maybe we can get a little bit more. But yeah, got an offer of 660.
And you didn't even go to market, really, right?
No.
Wow.
I mean, it did go through the MLS, so it was one of those hits the market and is in escrow and 10 minutes later. I was going to pour a driveway. That was my plan. That was what I told them. But there's another house that's just down the road, and they weren't ready to pour for that. It didn't make sense to pour the upper half of the driveway. So I just, calculated what I was going to spend on that and said, you can do the driveway later when it makes sense to do it rather than now. So, that lowered things a little bit, or it would have raised my remodeling cost, however you want to look at it. But closing costs included, termite treatment and some other things. So that's why if anyone's checking their calculator, it's a little bit higher than what you used to seeing, but there was termite treatment and closing costs and commissions.
Yep.
The remodeling came out at 107, and that is with paying me as a, labor.
So you paid yourself. You paid yourself too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Just as I'm, I pay myself out at $50 an hour. So,
yeah.
That's, so it came out to about 30 grand of labor cost to me. So if I were to take that out, my remodeling cost would have been less, but that's, that's cheating. It's padding your numbers.
Right.
But the profit on the job was 116,000.
Woo.
So it was not bad for 5 months.
So you got it done ahead of time. What was your expected budget originally?
I was expecting to make between 80 and 100. My original budget was 100. So
okay,
if you figure the driveway part of it in there,
Right.
I ended up I would have spent about 117.
Right.
And that's mainly because I made a few decisions like my original plan wasn't to put in drywall at all. I was going to leave the ceiling because the ceiling was actually in very good shape. Even though it was canic, but it was in good shape.
Mhm.
I was going to replace boards, clean up. I was going to do siding on the outside. I knew I was going to do that, but once I started tearing things out, I still could have replaced those boards and not done drywall, but it was sort of a calculated, I don't know, not risk, but it was a calculated change. I knew I was going to be spending more, but I knew I could sell it for more. I didn't think I'd get 660. But I knew I would get the money back. So
yeah,
sort of plan. And purchase with escrow was 381. There's the profit of 116.
Well, I remember from seeing the project. I didn't get to walk through it, but when I went to go visit Jonah on his project, he's like, "Oh, there's the one that Matt bought." So I looked up. I was like, "Whoa!" I could see like right through the house. And I was like, "Did he buy it already?" I was wondering, like, did he see this yet? Like, are you sure he wants it? But you did it fast. Like that was demo phase. That's why, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I closed on May 20th, and I think it was about 30 minutes later that I was demoing. I got on it right away. And
well, I remember how Matt works, man. Matt did that. Remember when we partnered with him on the other project? I don't think we closed until doing demo.
Demo that kitchen because they were supposed to start and they weren't there. I'm like, well, hell, I'm just going to demo this kitchen then. Took all the walls out. Well, it's just a sledgehammer, right? You just tear out the cabinets, the walls.
Well, you also bought it from Jonah fairly quickly. So, little backstory. Jonah calls me and said like, "Hey, do you know anybody that would want to buy one of my houses in the development? Like, I don't want to have to take it through, to do this one and stuff." And I asked him where it was, what, roughly what are the numbers, and then he asked if I knew a buyer, and I was like, I know the perfect guy. I think I know the perfect one. And you just exited I think the other deal that you did with that Jessica, who's on the call, wholesale to you. So like I knew you're kind of like looking for like another project. So I told him, like, I know, like, call Matt. And he's like, oh yeah. So he called you, and then next thing I know, like, you own the thing. So
yeah,
that was awesome.
And thank you to Corey for making the recommendation that Jonah call me, because it's less than a mile from my house. So that's pretty nice. And yeah.
How come the purchase price was 381? Like,
oh no, that's just with escrow. It was 380 with some so it's just some closing cost. But yeah, when Jonah called me, since it's cash, I mean,
you don't need much time,
I closed in a couple of days. I mean, we had a few conversations about it, and it was done. I went and looked at the house. I climbed around. I knew what I was getting myself into. It was a little more termite damage than I thought, but
yeah, you knew it was heavy. Yeah, you knew it was pretty heavy.
That was built in 1955 and not expect a lot of termite damage. So,
right. Yeah. Well, and one credit to you, like I could tell because when I came, it was the house was demoed pretty much. You could see right through it.
Yeah.
And Jonah, you did it so fast for a project like that. That's that heavy. And then I think he must have took notice, because didn't he ask you to if you wanted to help him on his projects next door? Are you working over there?
It's worked out. It's worked out great because he has his hands full with other projects, and so yeah, when it was done, he said, "Can you help me kind of sort through this? It's not a full-time thing, but I'm over there, every day, keeping the guys in line, getting materials together for 2 of the houses." And as part of the, I guess, incentive to do that to help him out, there's one lot that hasn't even started yet. right out in the front, and I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy that one from him and build it. So
Ground up.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm not going to be building it myself. This one,
Yeah.
I'm going to hire this out. Plus, I'm nursing a bad back, probably from all the remodeling work. Not as young as I used to be. But
well, that's cool. Well, I'll be watching for that one. You got to keep us updated on that.
Yeah, we're just waiting because there were 9 lots, and I didn't realize this about CPR. I guess you can only do 8 at a time.
8. Yeah.
So he did the 8. He got that approved, and immediately started applying for this 9th one, and that's just taking some time. It's supposed to be done. He's supposed to get all the stuff sorted out by, they said, the end of the year, but that probably spills into January. I would imagine at this point. So pretty soon, and then get the building permit started. I'm hoping to be starting on that in February. But
nice. Okay. Well, that'll be a cool one too.
Same layout as some of the other ones.
Yeah, but congratulations on this deal. This is nice. $116,000 for 5 months worth of work.
Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah, it worked out great. I have one other slide only because so the deal that I have with my family members are that whoever puts up all the money, and if it's some of my money, the investors get half the profit, which is pretty generous when you make money. If it's not a good flip, then you're kind of hedging your bets. But it's family, and anyway, investor got 58,000, original investments 480,000.
Great return.
29%. I told him I should have just borrowed the money, or I have the money to, but I don't know why I'm cutting you in on such a good deal, but if it goes south, I'm not on the hook, and I don't have to make payments and extra steps. So my share, it was 30 grand in labor plus my profit. So 88 to me, 116 on the whole deal.
That's nice. That's a nice return.
It's if only all of them were like that.
Right. Yeah.
Only all of them. But
well, are you still looking for deals right now, Matt, or are you just gonna wait for this ground up and then work on that project?
Well, yeah, no, I still am. I'm not the kind to go and try to do 5 or 10 at a time. I'm happy. Well, I have a little more time now. My vacation rentals are slow, but that does take up a decent chunk of my time. So flipping is sort of a half time. But no, I certainly have room to do a few, and I'm still looking for deals right now.
Awesome. Well, yeah. So if anybody has deals out in on Oahu, feel free to reach out to Matt. Matt, what is the best way for people to kind of connect with you?
Well, by phone or email. My email's probably the best. It's matt@longfellow.com. So it's just my last name, Matt@Longfellow. I'm on Facebook, or phone number. Yeah, I should have put it on a slide or something. My phone number is
in the chat.
I can do that too, right?
Okay.
I can.
Maybe your Facebook handle,
Okay. Is there? I don't know how to get to the chat.
Maybe exit the show. Is that your last slide?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, maybe just exit that, and then I got one more question for you before we log off here. But
okay, stop chat. Okay,
perfect.
Back to normal now. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, all set. What?
Well, actually, let me open it up to anybody else. If anybody has questions for Matt, and then I'll go last. Hopefully, I don't forget.
Do you think you'll do any more work as a contractor on any of your projects?
I'll always do some. I like doing it. I know that I don't have to. I can manage manage people. I have a lot that can do it, but it's fun. There's certain things that are getting my back. So flooring, I'm probably not going to do anymore, and taping and mudding. But I could do trim work all day. I could put up siding all day. It's actually I like it. So I like to get out of the house. I hate sitting in front of the computer. everything I've, most of the work I've done, I've had to sit in the computer and be on the phone.
Right.
And yes, that's probably better because leveraging your time and experience and all that. I get all that, but
yeah,
I like to be outside.
Well, okay. I guess, Matt, since we've had conversations before and I got a lot out of them every time I talk to you about it. Well, what do you think is going on with the housing market, and what do you see happening in 2021? If you could, I mean, I know we all don't have a crystal ball, but like if you put your best bet, what do you think?
If we continue the lockdowns, and this is more from, I was an economics major. It was 20 years ago that classes, but if we continue the lockdowns and they continue to print money to pay to give these stimulus checks or whatever you want to call them, inflation is going to happen, and that's going to hurt everybody. It'll hurt the housing market less than others, but it'll have an effect on the housing market. The only reason I think we're still propped up is because mortgage rates are low. They remain low. If that wasn't the case, we would have already seen a crash. You're not going to go to negative interest rates. I know people have said that, but it's not really going to happen. So I don't think.
Do you think do you think we'll start to see movement sometime next year?
Movement in the housing market?
Well, either way, actually, but like mainly like a retraction.
It depends on how long we continue to keep the economy shut down. I mean, I'm shocked that we are in the situation we're in now. When it was 2 weeks turned into 8 months. I mean, no, I don't. I know everyone may have different opinions and feelings on this, but I don't see the validity in any of this. The numbers don't support it, in my opinion. Not to get into that topic.
Yeah.
So it's hard when logic's gone out the window to try to guess what they're going to do. But yeah, if we're not looking at opening up by March, I'm definitely worried. Inflation's going to kill us. It's going to kill us.
Yeah, and we're in such a hot market right now, which I was just like 100% wrong, I guess. At the start of this, I thought, we'd be seeing a large correction and potentially recession in the housing market sometime like right around now or mid year. And if anything, it went the opposite way, everything just skyrocketed. And so now I'm kind of like, well, I have thoughts, but I have no idea, Right. I mean, the Fed, if the Fed keeps, like, they'll do everything they can, in my opinion, to make sure that we don't have a major recession. But at some point, if you keep printing money, we're going to have to pay for that, I'm assuming, or we're going to lose the trust that we have. The US dollar will lose faith. And then maybe maybe the US dollar isn't the primary currency used around the world, right? So
if we lose reserve currency status, forget it. It's all over. Yeah. No, that's
we may be past that point, right? The damage may have been done.
It seems like a good time to mention that Bitcoin just hit 23,000.
Right. All-time high, right? Well,
yeah.
And I guess real quick, since we have you, like, what are you seeing in the short-term vacation rental side, and have you seen any difference with Airbnb since they've gone public recently?
No, not really any changes. I had seen some bad signs from Airbnb over the last, like, say, year and a half. The service to host, and especially how they handled the COVID situation. They just basically screwed the host. And I constantly try to remind them that, yes, travelers are your customers, but so are hosts. Right. And you can't just pick the site. I mean, I wasn't affected that much because I get in the weeds on details here, but I usually keep a pretty flexible cancellation policy, so you can, cancel without much penalty, unless it's like, the day of or something. But others, no, you make a booking and if you cancel within 30 days, you're not getting any money back. And those are all the people that Airbnb said, yeah, no, we're just going to give them the money back anyway and take it from the hosts. And, they're not, that's not how their model is.
Have you started to see an increase in bookings and traffic?
Yeah, since October, we're at about 50%. So that's, that's better. But yeah, if I showed you pulled up my graph for the year, I mean, January was 50,000 in revenue and 0 in March and 0 in April and 0, up until September. I think I had like 2 guests that were like local people, taking a staycation. So went from 50,000 a month in revenue to an average of, 400.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
well, like kudos to you, because you're making it through it. Like I know a bunch of people, actually, not personally, but I know of them and I know who they are, and they got crushed.
Oh, yeah.
But that's because like you didn't over leverage. In fact, you purchased a lot just cash with family partners and stuff, right? But that's the thing with debt, like it can be good, but it's if you're doing it right, it's good debt, but it can turn quickly, right? And it's a double-edged sword. We just always got to be careful. So
well, I was looking at buying more. There have been 2 things in the last couple of years that really hit the market, the vacation rental market hard. One was Bill 89 last year, August, that eliminated a lot of short-term rentals, which ended up being fantastic for me because it took a lot off the market, and mine were all legal. So,
so Bill 89 in Hawaii.
I didn't really want to see it because I don't think the government should be getting in business that much, but it was kind of good for me. And then all of this COVID. So I think what we're going to see next year, you're going to continue to see pressure from different entities. I mean, the hotel industry does not like Airbnb. Even though we're actually probably a better option, hotels have to have a certain percentage occupancy to even be profitable. So a lot of them are going to stay closed until they know that they can get up. And I don't know, it's probably different for each one, 30%, 40% at least, just to hit a break even. So as tourists trickle in, they're not going to have hotels to go to if a lot of the hotels aren't open. So Airbnb is perfect to fill that gap. I can operate for, next to nothing. My carrying costs are my maintenance fees in a lot of cases. That's it. I mean, but if this whole thing continues, longer and longer, we're just going to get more pressure from hotels. Hotels run the show. They buy all the politicians, and they're going to get
the
through
hotels. They're massive, and like they made moves. They got built. I mean, Bill 89's been passed. It's very hard to run short-term vacation rentals unless you have a license, which they weren't giving out anymore. But and even if you did get one, there comes with so many like crazy restrictions that it's worthless. So
they were supposed to start issuing them again this October. They had a plan for a certain number in each, part of the island and everything. And that was supposed to be this October, but with COVID, that all got extended. I don't know when they're planning on doing that now, but people were applying. So a lot of people that maybe had to stop after Bill 89 got passed, they were being told, well, it's going to be a year. Some of them turned into short-term rentals. Some of them just held on to them, figuring I'm going to apply and get back into it. Now that's extended. So they planned, their plans got ruined. So but between those 2 things, I figured we'd see a lot of units on the market, and there were quite a few sales, but I thought prices may just, plummet. I'm going to go buy like 5 more because I know, it's that long. But they didn't really. The prices still are pretty high, probably for all the reasons we were just talking about, low interest rates and things like that.
Yeah. And well, you did, that's what I mean. Like, Matt's a very smart guy. And I think because you went into all legal, legally zoned short-term vacation rental buildings and areas. Whereas, some, like a lot of people, a majority of the people did not, because majority are not legal, right?
Right.
But so when they passed Bill 89, that was good news for you, right? Because for the most part,
just from strictly a business standpoint, it was. And I talked to a lot of different people. I know people in the hotel industry, people from my advertising days or other groups and things that I was involved with. And yeah, you knew this was, I mean, anyone who says they didn't know this was coming is either just completely naive or wasn't paying attention, because it was exploding. I mean, 2017, 2018, there's no way they're just going to look the other way and watch,
their revenues decline.
Hundreds of millions of dollars funnel out of the
the hotels, like the hotel cartel. They won't let that happen.
No. And so I think, some people just tried to get away with what they could get away with while they could get away with it.
Right. What's really sad.
Not a good long-term plan.
What's really sad is I know a lot of people who, like, I hear the realtors trying to tell them to buy and use it as short-term vacation rental, that I know that that's happened a lot while it was booming. And now, those people were stuck. And I saw a lot of houses go on the market right when COVID was like maybe 2 months in, maybe around May or something. Like there was a lot of blood in the water, so. But
if they were relying on that income as part, to pay their mortgage, and it's not, I mean, they do allow, if you live in the property, so there's some ways around it. You can rent out like a spare, a back room or things like that. That's a way to get around it if you live in the property. But of course, a lot of people didn't.
Right.
And I'm not familiar with all those details. I don't have any like that, so I may be misstating a couple. There's some details there. But.
Are you cash flowing right now, since there's no debt?
Yeah. I mean, this last month, instead of 40 to 50 in revenue, it's 20, 22. We're like 25 this month.
Right.
But I mean, that's total revenue. You're paying taxes, which is a percentage. Pay for my cleaning person, but that's based on how many guests we have. So they're all variable costs. The only fixed cost really on most of them is the maintenance fee. So as soon as I cover that, we're good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, does anybody, if anybody has any other questions for Matt, feel free to leave it in the chat or, unmute and ask him now. But I don't want to hold you up too much longer, Matt. Thank you so much for your time today. And I'll see you around too, because I might have something for you. I'll give you a call after. But and I think.
Hey Matt, can you throw your email really quick in the chat so that way anybody who's got questions or
I think he did
wants to have you come out and do their drywall for them, they can contact you. You're a master of all trades, man. You're impressive. I remember when we did that one windward side flip with you. You were hilarious. You're just like, the contractors are too slow. I'm gonna go in and do it myself.
Damn right.
Yeah, this guy is
just get it done.
Corey never offers to go do stuff like that because he might sweat, and he doesn't like sweat.
Or hurt myself.
Well, yeah, you gotta be careful about that. Yeah, then they weren't cleaning up the stuff either. We had that huge pile of debris in the whole living room. I had to go throw it in my truck, haul it away.
Yep.
Yes, I put my email and my phone number in the chat there. So
awesome. Oh, let me make sure there's no questions that I missed, and if there isn't, then we can start to wrap up. And thanks so much again, Matt. Congratulations on a nice deal, and good luck on your next one out there, Jonah. I want to come by and check you guys out, see what's going on out there.
Yeah, come by anytime. It's I'll be out there a lot more once that other unit starts. Right now, I'm trying to just manage, project manage, and take care of my back.
Yeah. Well, thanks again. We appreciate your friendship, your partnership, and for you sharing here. And we'll get you back on again to talk about maybe sometime first quarter next year to see what changed, since COVID with big short-term vacation rentals. So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting to hear.
I can keep you updated on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Matt, I'm gonna reach out to you. I want to pick your brain on short-term rentals. See if I should do this fire station or not.
Yeah, sure. Happy to share what I've learned over the years.
Awesome.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for
Matt.
having me. Hope it was helpful.
And thanks everybody for jumping on this Friday. Have a great weekend. We're not going to be on a call next Friday because it's Christmas. So everybody enjoy your Christmas. And we'll see you, I believe, in the new year, right? Is that going to be, when is the next one?
So we won't get together until the second Friday. So that would be January 8th.
8, okay.
January 8th, same
Well,
time.
January 1st is New Year. I understand that. But like, it always never made sense to me that everybody takes the first day of the year off. Does that make sense to everybody?
Everyone's
It's like,
hungover.
Yeah, dude.
I don't care.
Why would you not take that day off?
I don't care. We got deals. We got to do this. We got
Work,
365 days in the year. You're gonna give up the very first one? We need momentum. We gotta get rolling. I say we do it on the first. So let's take a vote. I'll be on.
Actually, you gotta talk to Corey, man.
Maybe I'll be on by myself.
There's no talking to him.
You need to get more
Let's do a
alcohol on New
poll.
Year's Eve.
I better see everybody on the first.
We're gonna.
We're the only one on.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm down for the first.
There we
Keiko
go.
Exchange poll. We'll put it on Keiko Exchange. Everybody will take a vote.
Okay, we'll do a poll. Thanks again, Matt.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks
We're
for
gonna
having me.
hang out if you guys want to talk story for a little while, but we got an inspector coming in at 12 to inspect the office. So I gotta clean up a little bit. So maybe like 10 minutes chit chat, and otherwise I'll see everybody on the new in 2021.
Matt, don't turn yours off because you have controls. You'll turn the whole thing off.
All right. Well, I'm glad you said that because I was okay. So what do I got to do here?
You got to go on to the little camera guy to the more, and then reassign host to Corey.
Okay. A little camera guy.
Your daughter's so cute.
Reassign host. I don't see the camera guy.
That's okay, brother. You can do electrical in a house. You can do plumbing.
This is officially the second Zoom call I've been on.
You went all year through COVID, and this is the second Zoom call you've ever had.
I took it back, Matt. Don't worry. I got it.
You got it? Okay. Good. Thank you.
Everybody. Thank you so much for Coffee Talk. Love you guys.
Hey, Tammy, have a good one.
Love you, bro.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Merry Christmas. Aloha.
See you, Lloyd.
Gotta get to a meeting. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's,
Merry Christmas, Warren.
Yeah, see you
Take
guys.
care, brother.
See you in 2021.
See you guys. Bye.
That was fun.
What, are you going to be on the first? Or Corey, I guess you're running it because Kikoa probably won't be on the first.
No, Ashley, you and I are not going to be on the call on the first.
No.
But, Corey could be.
Well, we gotta take the poll.
He might take Alex. He might put Alex on it too. He might get
Majority rules.
Alex probably won't even go to sleep. He'll probably still be awake.
That's probably true.
Alex is up to 4 in the morning.
It's okay, guys. Deals, money never sleeps, bro. Money never sleeps.
It's still recording. Whoever is in charge of recording.
Layla's in charge now.
That was
Gave
some
it
good
back to you,
content.
Kiko. I messaged you in the chat box.
Oh, did you? I got to run to an inspection too.
Okay, send it to me.
Oh, you're just gonna pass them around. I
Guys.
can turn off. I'll turn off the kind though. Can.
Layla's the host now.